Hello there, welcome back to the Zephyr, your daily dose for Zodiacs. Have you ever met someone who thought that you are a Libra when actually you are a Taurus? Well, they must have been confused with your rising sign. Your rising sign often plays an important role in your personality. It's the image the world sees of you and the impression that everyone has of you when you meet them. So, how does it actually work? Let's find out. Hang on. Before that, don't forget to click subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay updated with more quality content. Oh, and make sure to watch this video until the end to help support Zephyr. To understand more about the influence of your rising sign on your personality, we first need to decode what is a rising sign. A rising sign is the zodiac sign that was rising from the east at the time of your birth. It is also called as an ascendant, and just like the moon or the sun, it is also a part of your astrological chart. Depending on the sign your ascendant is in, your impression on others will vary. Speaking of impressions, let's start the list with number 1. Aries Ascendant first impression. Dynamic, pioneering, positive, and a born leader, these are the thoughts that are more likely to go through a person's head when they first meet you. You might be a quiet Scorpio, a timid Virgo, or even a shy Pisces, but if you have Aries as your rising sign, then their first impression of you would be more like a courageous Aries. Some people could find you to be a bit overwhelming or intimidating at first. Although, this will disappear as soon as they get to know you better. We can't say the same if your sun and moon are also in the same sign as your ascendant. Then you might be the type of person you seem to others. Taurus Ascendant first impression. Gorgeous. If your ascendant is a sign that is ruled by the goddess of love herself, then good looks are expected. When people meet you for the first time, they will find you beautiful and attractive. Some might even view you as the whole package. Now, you're probably thinking being a Taurus Ascendant is really cool. That's not totally true. Like every other zodiac rising sign, it has its problems too. For example, people born under this ascendant may be seen as a bit stubborn. It's the influence of their ascendant that will make them appear this way. Similarly, people might also mistake them for being a bit arrogant. Gemini Ascendant first impression. Mischievous people with this ascendant have an air of intellectualism about them. Even if you are not into reading or traveling, others may think that you are. It is the influence of Mercury ruling over the ascendant. You might be a homebody or a recluse, but your ascendant will not give that impression. Similarly, even if you are a private person who likes to keep to themselves, you may be perceived as a bit mischievous. It is just one of the perks of being a Gemini Ascendant. Oh, and you might be very witty and sarcastic. Cancer Ascendant impression. Compassionate. Have you ever had people say that you look like a kind and caring person? This might be because of your Cancer rising sign. The Cancer Ascendant tend to have similarities with Cancer moon and sun signs. The placement of Cancer often determines the emotional nature of a person. So, even if you are a Capricorn who is very practical but you have this ascendant, then you will have an emotional side to you. People might also get the impression that you are moody and mysterious. Leo Ascendant impression. Charismatic. Leos are naturally charismatic and love the spotlight. If you have this sign as your ascendant, then people will likely perceive you as a charismatic person. You turn heads when you walk into a room. Your voice is heard and your advice will be taken. Even if you feel that you are not much of a leader or someone who can take charge, those who have just met you might disagree with you. This all sounds pretty great, but there is a downside. Leo Ascendants are also often perceived as very dramatic. Virgo Ascendant impression. Poise. As a Virgo Ascendant, you may be very analytical and resourceful. Troubleshooting is not a problem for you, and you know how to make things work when the going gets tough. This is why you are reliable and can be expected to get the job done. There are often times when you may overanalyze things and may be seen as overly critical. This perception usually keeps people away from you, leaving only a few friends by your side. Unlike Gemini Ascendants, who are also ruled by Mercury, Virgo Ascendants are often seen as unpredictable and eccentric. Libra Ascendant impression. Charming. Have you ever been complimented on being charming? If your answer is yes, then your ascendant is probably in Libra. This Venus-ruled sign doesn't always get the good looks of a Taurus, but it definitely gets the charm. If you are born with this sign as your ascendant, then you may be someone who is great at resolving conflict. You avoid all types of chaos and confrontation, and as a result, you like to keep to yourself. On the other hand, people might feel that you are a bit too liberal at times. They might see your unwillingness to confront scenarios as a weakness and then try to exploit it. Scorpio Ascendant Impression. Sexy. If you've watched our Zodiac videos before, it shouldn't be a surprise to you that Scorpio is the sign most often associated with sex, death, and rebirth. When this zodiac sign is your ascendant, then chances are you will have more admirers than you can count. Ascendants of this sign are often seen as powerful in a very subtle and calm way. People will often think of you as someone who has a way with words and the ability to manipulate others at will. Once they get to know you better, they will realize that you might be a better person than they had originally thought. Either way, you will find it easy to draw attention even if you don't want to. Even if you're not aware of it, people will find you irresistible. Sagittarius Ascendant Impression. Free-spirited. You might be someone who just wants to read books, stay updated with the latest happenings, and go for solo trips when you have time. But that may not be how others see you. Sagittarius Ascendants have Jupiter in their first house, and people will usually see you as a free spirit. They will think that you are very outspoken and outgoing. You will find yourself drawn to activities that are adventurous, and while you enjoy traveling in your free time, others will perceive it as a part of your personality. In their head, your image is that of Indiana Jones, Tintin, Lara Croft, or Katniss Everdeen. Capricorn Ascendant Impression. Determined. Capricorns tend to be determined, honest, and goal-oriented individuals. Capricorn rising people come across as serious and focused. While this may be good career and academics-wise, it can be a problem in their day-to-day social life. When they crack a joke, people might not get it and think they're being serious, and sometimes it can come across as a bit creepy. There's always a chance of being misunderstood with this ascendant placement. Aquarius Ascendant Impression. Eclectic. When you have rebellious Aquarius as your ascendant, you are seen as a social chameleon. People often talk your wit and intelligence while at the same time think you are someone who dances to the beat of their own drum. Your ideas are authentic and you like presenting yourself in an eccentric way. You're friendly and kind, and these traits help you in your social circles. Oh, many astrologers. This was the ascendant of Nikola Tesla. Fascinating, don't you think? Pisces Ascendant Impression. Enigmatic. Ruled by Neptune, this sign is often referred to as the oldest sign of the zodiac. Natives of this ascendant may come across as being old souls. Pisces ascendants are often very emotional and can be a bit philosophical at times. Their point of view is ideological and a little bit impractical. This is why people with this ascendant are often lost in their own thoughts. Additionally, there's always a bit of an enigma surrounding their personality that is hard to understand. So, going by this logic, if I have Aries in my rising sign, that would be seen as dynamic even if I'm not. Wow. Maybe this is why you should never judge a book by its cover. So, what is your rising sign? Do you think zodiac signs are important? Let us know in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you.